and our vision and mission is basically to end hunger in North America. This came about after retirement, coming out of retirement from the advertising industry, and deciding that both Svetlana and I, that we wanted to do something to leave a legacy, something that was very impactful, a positive impact in the world. And after getting all of the studies done, after getting information from both Google and Nielsen about what was going on in the world today, we decided that we were going to basically create a new model and focusing on hunger in North America. And as you'll hear later on, the statistics are alarming. And we don't seem to be talking about that enough, certainly not in my opinion. We talk about, certainly children in in developing countries, and I think that's important that we look after them as well. However, it's also extremely important that we look after ourselves. So that's the vision and mission of RTG Group. So we are a for-profit social enterprise built around the model of everybody must win more than they put in. Our program offers full transparency on where every cent goes, and we also give full disclosure on the actual measurement of the impact. Each program is created, ensures that every touch point must win more than they put in, and the value, whether it's time or money, has got to be given back. Programs created on specific needs in the marketplace. So as I mentioned, and you can see at the bottom, there's almost 48 million people that go hungry every day in North America. 1 in 5 Canadian children, 1 in 6 American children go to school hungry every day. We don't talk about that. We're talking about consistently, a child dies every 10 seconds of starvation or malnutrition in developing countries. And I think that's equally as important. But I think one of the things that we have to understand is that's equally important, not more important or less important, but we have to be able to do both. And that's really what our model is all about, making sure that we're collaborating and that we're providing a model, a new business model, which is disruptive in the giving space, but it's a new model that does address all of the problems that we're facing in the world. This is how our model works. It's very simple. And for this, I'm going to put on my glasses because sometimes I can't see that well. And there's some little printing here, but it's very simple. We create the programs, as you can see over here, and then we get people to pay $39.70 a month. That provides 30 meals, $1.33 a meal, of non-GMO organic food. We formulated the food. We have several manufacturers that make that for us. That food then goes, we manufacture it over here. Then our manufacturers ship it to charity partners that we already have deals with, like Second Harvest, Feed America, Breakfast Clubs of Canada, US. We deliver that, but we deliver it to the charity in this contributor's name. That's really important because by doing that and based on our price point, this charity now is able to give a tax receipt back to the contributor for the full amount of $39.70. Then, of course, the food is shipped from the charity, which they're doing already, directly to the people who need it. So that's the first point, and that's, you'll get into this later on when we find out about transparency and what millennials are looking for. But this is extremely important because now the contributors, and this model was built for the millennials, quite frankly, although now, all different demographics are certainly taking notice, but they're able to see exactly what they're giving to charity and exactly where it's going. And we, of course, when we tell them it's $1.33 a meal to provide the meals, they're extremely happy with that. In fact, in our focus groups we basically had all the people in our focus groups asking us how we could even do this at that price point. And we explained to them it was based on volume. The other thing we wanted to do with this model was, again, make sure that everybody wins more than they put in. Extremely important to us. And you'll find that sustainable models are exactly that. Because if you can build a model where everybody wins more than they put in, every touch point wins, then why would they stop doing it? And that's how you build sustainable models. So now what we do is we have this person, we've provided full transparency around the giving. The second point is we want to make sure that this individual was going to continue to feed every month, that 39.70. And the only way we can do that again is if they win more than they put in. So we have our RTG Discount Perks app, and as long as they continue to feed that, they have access to that app, which in North America, both American and Canada, has hundreds of thousands of vendors, from travel to restaurants to bars to hotels, electronics products, clothing. All of our vendors will give a minimum of 15% off every time they use it. So in the case studies we did, it was impossible for literally anybody in our focus groups that wasn't going to save more money in the course of the year than it was going to cost them to feed that person. So obviously, that's how you build sustainable models. The last piece of this puzzle here is this creative giving initiative. This was something we put together because we felt that even though the charities are doing wonderful things, the model is broken, and it's not their fault. The model is just broken. So we wanted to be able to, through this model, collaborate with them, and with we give back almost 50% of the profit that we make. We can now give it back to. We can partner up so that organizations like United Way, Diabetes, John Howard, we can develop programs, joint programs with them where they can still get money because they're obviously looking to fundraise as well. So that's what this model is all about, and that's exactly how it works. We have many programs right now that we've designed. In fact, some of them, the charity program, travel program over here, that was originally designed for with diabetes in mind. Now we have several others. We have a corporate model. Of course, we have immigrant women in business, which we all know all about. Community hunger program, which launches next year, next spring actually. It'll actually launch in New York and LA simultaneously. Wells Fargo is involved in that one. We have a couple of others. So these are programs already. We design programs. We are not a charity. You can't individually buy something. We have to design programs that are going to get thousands and thousands of people fed. That's our goal. So now introduce and welcome to the Digital Marketing Agency Challenge, or what we call DMAC. This was created in a conversation, which pretty much all of our programs are created. We have conversations with people, and we find out that they're going through challenges, and we see if we can't create a solution to that challenge where we can both win. So in this case, we were talking to some agency owners, and they were talking about business being pushed off into the fall, or in our case, even the spring. And we thought, okay, so what could we do there? This is my old industry, marketing and advertising. And so what could I design that would basically solve a lot of challenges that people are going through right now? And so we came up with the Digital Agency Marketing Challenge. It's the first of its kind. And this will be an annual challenge. This is the first year. Obviously, with COVID, it's a perfect time for it. And so this is basically how it works. It's very simple. I'm going to put the glasses back on again now, so I don't miss anything. So it's a 3-step program. Basically, what we're saying to agencies is this: we want you to apply and tap into your resources, what you do already for other clients. Only now do it for yourself. Do it to help us feed. Take this money that we're going to give you every single month, so they get $1,000 in advertising fees. Some agencies might spend some more. That's totally up to them. But we're giving $1,000, so the agency doesn't have to spend a dime on this, or the marketing professional. There's obviously monthly minimums. They're not high. The first month is 250 people that you sell, 250 children that you're going to feed during that through your advertising in that first month. But they apply, and it begins June 1st, and it's a 90-day program, June, July, and August. So as I mentioned, each agency receives $1,000 to cover their advertising. And when you hit minimums, you additionally receive $1,000 bonus minimum. And that may go up, in fact, because now we're talking to some sponsors who has now come to light. And so if it goes up, we put all the money we receive from sponsors back into the program and back into the agencies for additional advertising and additional bonuses. So right now, that's the way it works. And then, of course, at the end of the 3 months, each month, an agency who gets his $1,000 hits the minimums, goes on to the second month. The ones who don't, and I'm sure there may be some, then they don't go on. We just thank them for that, and we go on with the agencies who we'll continue to work with. And then at the end of it, where each agency has got their own, we set up a platform for them. So we have the tracking mechanisms all built in, and they will know exactly how many they feed each month. So will we. And at the end of it, there is first, second, and third place, and we're giving away $100,000 for the agency or marketing specialist who feeds the most. Second place is $50,000, and third place is $25,000. So that's one of our ways as well of helping agencies who might, need an extra boost. Obviously, this is not just a little bit of money. So that would certainly help a lot. And all we're doing is, because I do get this question when we have about 25 agencies already involved. We're looking to get between 50 and 100, by June 1st. So those particular ones, the whole idea behind that is that we want to make sure that everybody's going to win. At the end of it, they've won money, even if they just hit the minimums. When we get more money from sponsors, we can put it back in so that everybody's going to get something. And at the end of the day, it's about feeding kids. And right now, it's a very serious problem because we deal with breakfast clubs right now of Canada. And I was talking to their CEO about this, and they deliver through the schools. And the schools are closed. So it becomes even a bigger challenge on getting food to these kids. So, we want to be able to build this program so we're feeding, 100,000 people a month, which is 3 million meals a month that can go back to make sure that that they're going to be able to do the things that they need to do. So that's what it's about. This is just a message from me, which is on our website. Our model is all about doing good, giving back, making a difference in the world. It's kind of a great space to be in. My whole life as a former professional athlete, and then a business person, first of all, in the advertising world, and then my own agency. And then after selling that, everything was all about, and business was about making money. That was the definition, especially for a boomer, of success, was how much money you made. Now I'm in a space that I got to be honest with you, I think I was made for it. It's really just about developing programs where you can help people. And Svetlana, as a lot of you know, my wife, is exactly the same type of person. It's really just all about, we're not trying to sell anybody anything. Even the people who are paying the $39.70, every one of them through this new way of giving will win more than they're putting in. And so everybody wins, and that's what this is all about. So it's not about trying to sell anybody anything. If it doesn't resonate with you as an agency owner, or you don't think it's a good time, that's fine. It's okay. There's lots of them out there that will want to do this. I can share a couple of things with you. I had a conversation with an agency owner, I think it was last week or the week before, and they were busy. They were really busy. They had stuff to do. And so he said to me at first, he said, yeah, you know what? I really like this, but I think we're too busy to do it. I said, okay, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I would recommend you take it to your staff and just get the feedback from them and see what they say, because I think you'd be surprised. And he said, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Like, why not? So I got a call 2 days later, and he said, yeah, we're in. I said, so what happened? I mean, what do you mean? You were, obviously you weren't, and then you were. He said, yeah, I took it to my staff and I said, listen, here's something that came up. Perhaps, we could do this, and our work has to get done first, but this might be kind of fun. And if anybody wants to do it, let me know. He said, I had 90% of my staff that emailed me the next day, said, I'm in, I want to do it. But how do I get involved? So he said, obviously, it is a good program, resonates with especially young people, making a difference, having fun doing it, and that. So together, we can do things. I do believe that's why we built this model around collaboration, where we're all getting together. It's not about us trying to do programs where we're out there, begging for money, or telling people we've got a great cause. And by the way, this is no knock, and this last slide will say that. The current giving model is simply broken. It doesn't mean that charities and nonprofits aren't doing good things with the best of intentions. It simply means that an outdated model where, people are giving, they're not sure where the money's going. It's broken. It needs to be fixed. And that's going to take a long time and effort because it's been around for a long time. But I think what's going to be happening is you're seeing more and more for-profit social enterprises that are kind of opening up right now. We're partners with some. Four Oceans. I don't know if anybody's heard of Four Oceans in the States. A couple of surfer dudes going in and cleaning up the oceans of the plastic. We're partners with them on another program we're doing in the corporate world. So it's just really a matter of being able to, offer full transparency around where the money's going. I mean, these three questions we get all the time. Where's my money going? What's the measurable impact? And, what's in it for me? And what's wrong with that? I often say to boomers who ask me about that, and they say, "What do you mean? What's in it for them? I mean, they're doing good." We used to think it all the time. We just never said it. So, that's what this is all about. That's what the program's all about. It's really just a matter of going to our, to our website. We have a site up there. You can go, you register, get more information. There's videos and things like that. And I know that now we've got a few questions that people are putting in. So let me just go because they've sent some of these to me privately. So let me go grab those. Hang on for 1 second. And where are they? There they are. Okay. So a couple of questions that came up. The first one was about, so how was the program created and what are the objectives? So obviously I touched on that already. Programs were created because that's what we look to do. We look for challenges. We found a challenge in the marketing industry right now where people are looking to, make some more money, get their employees engaged, do that. And the objectives of this are obviously to feed people. Our goal is to feed a minimum of 50,000 people a month, which is 1.5 million meals every month being delivered to charities. Although we believe that we can get that higher and get that up to even double that. So that's our goal. That's the objective of this program. Another question that came up was asked here was, where's the startup money come from? So if we have 100 agencies and we're giving them all $1,000, that's $100,000. So that money comes from RTG. We are a self-funded for-profit social enterprise. We're 4.5 years in business. We continue to fund that as now we start to grow. So we're putting that money up. And then the continual money comes, of course, from as we feed people, instead of keeping any profit or putting some back into other causes, we're putting everything 100% back in to agencies that are continuing to feed that, and we'll continue to do that for the 90 days. Another question, what are the monthly minimums? So that's clear on our page, but just so everybody knows, the first month is you must be feeding 250 people by the end of the month. These are cumulative too, by the way. So the second month is 1,000, but that however many you fed in the first month is obviously deducted by the 1,000. You just have to be feeding the minimums by the end of the month. So the 250 people, or let's say you do 400 in the first month, you would of course receive $1,000 bonus. You might receive 2,500 because maybe that's the most for the month. Then you move on to month number 2, you get another 1,000 for advertising. Now, in order to hit 1,000, if you've already fed 400, because those people are feeding on a monthly basis. So now you would really only need 600 to hit the 1,000. So they're cumulative numbers. It's 250, 1,000, and then 2,500. Based on the feedback we've got from most agencies, in fact, we've had a couple of people say, why are the numbers so low? I don't think they're low. I think they're really reasonable. And that's the whole idea. We'd like to have every agency hit the 2,500, and that would be, phenomenal. Who's providing the prize money and bonuses? So you already know that. That's us. Are there any limitations how the promotions are done? The answer to that is no. We have a couple of things in the agreement that each agency is getting as that will go out actually over the weekend to the agencies that are already in. But those particular There are no limitations how you do it. There's a couple of things we're doing that will help everybody. We're using hashtags, DMAC 2020, so that we can track everything. We can give those numbers back to the agencies and the sponsors so they can see the reach that we've got for this. And obviously will allow us to promote it more effectively next year as well. So no limitations. Will RTG Group provide any generic marketing content? So the answer to that is yes. By the end of this month, we will have 2 or 3 different videos that marketing agencies can do. We'll have some different graphics and things like that. Obviously, marketing agencies, and I've been told by a couple of agencies that, hey, this is what we do. Like, thanks very much. We'll take it from here, so to speak. But we want to be able to have some stuff that you can take and promote it. So we're putting together, we've got a couple of really cool videos right now that are in the works. One of them, by the way, walks through the actual model so that when we are marketing it to individuals, and that's what obviously agencies will be doing, you could talk about this new way of giving. You could talk about the full transparency and walk them through that. So there'll be actually a video on that. The last question I think I have, oh, yes, I just got this morning, actually. How do we keep track of all of this? I mean, we have 100 agencies in and, all these different people being fed. How do we keep track of it all? So there is a platform that we use, and every agency that gets involved actually is set up as an affiliate with this. So on that platform, it will tell you when somebody, feeds a person, all their information, and the only people that have access to that are the agency and us. So we can both go in and just review that. And that's how we will go in every month, review the numbers. Those numbers will be the ones that count. So that is how we're tracking everything. Those are already existing platforms. Then I have how can people join with $39.70 a month? So that's going to be starting with all these different, you're going to see all the ads and everything like that. You can jump in, just go and click and feed. Again, this is part of this challenge. So that we can then, when does the application interview process look like for agencies? It's actually it's very easy. It's just a phone call. Once you submit, you go online and you submit the application. And I know some of the people here that are on here, I see Bernie, some people have already done that. We've had the conversation. So it's really just a matter of having a conversation, making sure that they're fully, they're fully informed of exactly what our expectations are, and that we're comfortable with obviously working with them. And to be honest, that's a pretty much a no-brainer. Anybody who wants to partner with us and help us feed, like, we're all for that. Man, I got a bunch of cool questions here. How were the monthly minimum sales decided? So everything was decided based on the money that we're giving back. So we make X amount of dollars from every sale, which is what we do. We obviously, as I said, we keep half of it. We put half of it back into the program. In this case, we decided to put 100% of everything we're making. So we're basically funding our own organization for the next 90 days out of my pocket, which is the norm. But so we're putting all of that back in to this. So that's how we set up those monthlies. We wanted to make sure that we were covering off the advertising, the bonuses, all that type of stuff. It was all set on based of a formula that I created. Have you previously run campaigns that set a benchmark? Yeah, so we certainly have, and we've always maintained in our campaigns have always done, ones that we know that we've actually tracked ourselves, conversion rates and things like that. And so these ones here, this particular campaign is all done on the very conservative numbers. That's why we've actually had that question from some people as to why are the numbers as low as they are. Some of them have said that. So are you currently doing any digital marketing? If so, do you take an average? No, we are not doing any digital marketing. I want to be very clear about this. RTG is a for-profit social enterprise. We are not a marketing company. You cannot go to RTG's page right now and feed somebody. It's not what we do. We build programs. We build programs like DMAC, like Dad App, like purpose-driven travel, and we involve partners who are going to go out and do that and feed people so they can benefit, and that's how we get people fed. We do not do our own. I'm not interested in that. I've been down that road. My last agency was, 67 million or whatever. I'm not interested in doing that anymore. I want to partner with people who do that and make them a benefactor in our programs. That's what we do. So we do not do that. We don't get into someone asked me about, PPC the other day and stuff. We don't do any of that. And quite frankly, to be honest, if you look at our model, I showed it to you exactly how it works, and you look at our price point, which by the way is lower than any charity providing 30 meals. We don't have any money for marketing. We don't. We don't. We can't do campaigns and all that kind of stuff. It's built strategically on the partnerships and collaboration. That's how it all works. And I think that was the last question. Sorry, on a call. Okay, I don't know why that's a question and I can't answer that one. But anyway, so listen, I want to thank everybody. There is a recording. Svetlana will have that. I appreciate your time. I know time's a little bit not quite as scarce today, maybe as it was, 5 months ago, but it'll come back. I certainly hope everyone's staying safe. Always remain positive. It's extremely important what we do. And as always, and my favorite is live life in 3D, dream, dare, and do. So thank you all. Have a great day, and we will send out this copy so you can see it. And I know that I have some calls here with some of the agencies who are on the line. We're going to get all this done, and we're looking forward to June 1st. It's going to be a fabulous 90 days, and I think we're going to accomplish some really special things. So thanks. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.